Good morning. I'm John Tobacco. I'm a community activist. I'm the proud son of an NYPD officer. We stand here today. One of the reasons we're standing here is because of leadership that lets that divide us. We're here because the governor and mayor have set an arbitrary set of rules that just don't make sense to regular people. And we find out now that the first guy to stand up to the tyrants gets crushed. De Blasio and now Cuomo have told the people of Staten Island, New York City, and the country that if you speak up to the emperor, you get crushed. In the last week, just to give you a timeline, Lou Gelomino, one of the finest criminal defense attorneys around, and Mark Fonte, who represent Dan and Mac's Pub, Lou was charged with a misdemeanor for trying to be a lawyer. Our political leaders came here to try to stand up for the guys and the restaurants and the movement, and Andrew Lanza was nearly handcuffed in front of Mac's Pub for trying to stand with the people. The other night we found out that it was a political ambush. More details will come your way on what's happened, but it's a tale of two cities. Walmart just announced they're paying $700 million in bonuses, and Staten Island restaurant owners are getting arrested 2 times in a week for trying to make $100. The ignorance is so high that on national television, they find it funny that small business owners are trying to feed their families while the millionaires sit in their perch. I'll say it again. If I thought anyone here intentionally tried to hurt a New York City police officer, I would never be standing before you. You're going to hear now from Lou Gelomino, who's the criminal defense attorney for Dan. He's also the attorney for the Staten Island Restaurant Association and Mac's Pub. This is a patriot I've known my whole life. He's put his name, his life, his business, his practice on the line to stand up for what's right and freedom. Lou's going to speak. You're going to hear Dan's side of the story for now. And then Keith McAlarney, the founder and owner of Mac's Pub, is going to give you his side of the story. So thank you all for coming. Lou Gelomino.
Thank you all. Myself, Lou Gelomino, and my partner, Mark Fonte, are representing Dan in his criminal matter and also Mac's Public House in their civil matters against the city. We've been standing up for small restaurant owners and small business owners in this city for the last 9 months, and we will continue to do so. Today, Dan is going to make a very, very short statement regarding his situation. Then Keith is going to make a statement regarding the pub, and then I will ask and take any questions for a short period of time. Thank you. Dan?
I have nothing but respect for the NYPD and other law enforcement. I think when you find at the end of the investigation, you will find that I did nothing wrong. And I have nothing but respect for NYPD and other law enforcement. Thanks for coming out today.
Good morning. I'm Keith McAlarney, a lifelong Staten Islander. I have a fiance and 3 kids. We are a regular blue-collar family. Like every Irish kid, all I ever dreamed was opening my own pub. While other people were dreaming of being firemen or police officers, I always dreamed of being a bar owner. We worked hard pouring in our life savings, and after 3 months, we got shut down by an arbitrary set of rules. I respect COVID. I don't respect the corruption, overreach, and arbitrary color zones that are killing all my friends' establishments here and across the country. The fact we are all come out here today, you will find that we are here because of Cuomo and de Blasio trying to crush the little man, who dare to speak up. Many people's families continue to be hurt by the tyranny, and my prayers are with you with them all. But I will leave you with this. Political ambush will be figured out by our great attorneys. But as the owner, and just a family man following the stream, this governor and mayor are not going to take my best friend and my pub. Out of respect to law and order, we will take the next few days to regroup. But I can assure the fight to reopen Mac's Public House and for the rest of small business owners will continue. The dream lives on. Thank you.
Why don't you say something? Community activist Scott Lebedo.
This is a big fight, people. This is a huge fight, and it's about the emperor, like John said, squashing the little man. It's not fair. Yes, the situation is ugly, but it is not fair what's happening to the small businesses. And I'm going to tell you right now, the famous lines of Captain Perry in the Battle of Lake Erie. Men, do not give up the ship, and we will not give up this ship.
Lou, question if I may.
First, I want to tell everybody I didn't use the word great when writing that to describe his attorneys, but thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good question. With Danny's situation.
Yes.
Because when we first got here and talked to Keith, this was small business, standing up, fighting, trying to feed his family. It seems like it devolved 2 nights ago.
Sure.
What happened, if you could tell us? Because Danny said he did nothing wrong. The Sheriff's Department has given us a statement saying they tried to arrest him. He hit one of their deputies with his car. Deputy went up on the hood, has a broken leg. Is that a lie?
The deputies do not have broken legs. That's an outright lie. One of the deputies injured his ankle. Either he tore a ligament or something. We still don't know the extent. But the fact that they lied and went out on a press release to all of you saying that he broke his legs is an outrageous, outright lie, completely confirmed.
So what happened? Did Danny hit him with a car?
All I can tell you is this. We have an investigation going on. We have 80% of it on video. Within the 4 minutes of Danny leaving this place, and from the time he was hauled away was 4 minutes, we have video of the end of it, almost 80% of it. At no time was there an ambulance on scene. At no time can you see an officer injured. They had 15 unmarked police cars that came in, not police cars, let me rephrase that. Sheriff's deputies, unmarked cars. They came in, swept Danny away in 4 minutes like he was Osama bin Laden in a CIA Black Ops, and in 4 minutes you see nothing else on the scene. Not an officer, not a sheriff's deputy interviewing witnesses, not an ambulance, not an officer down. Ambulances never came to the scene. In 4 minutes, he walked and the scene was completely cleaned up, like this was some type of CI Black Op operation.
The answer is why? Why'd they do this?
Over cheeseburgers? That's what it seems. It's over cheeseburgers and beer. Why would they do this? I have no idea. You know why they did this? Because they're not trained. In my life, NYPD makes arrests in this city when it comes to criminality. NYPD was not involved in this in the slightest. They want no part of it, either do the state troopers. The officers could have just approached him in front of the place the night before when he got arrested, or 2 nights before. Then he put out his hands and said, "Arrest me." I can tell you that's not the way it was effectuated here. It happened 2 blocks away, not in front of this building, on a dark street, where 2 big burly officers came out between a parked car from behind him and yelled, "Presti, hey Presti," and started running at him. That's what started the whole set of events. It wasn't 2 officers in uniforms waving their badges in front of him saying, "Hey, can we talk to you?" That's what started the whole events. And that's pretty much all on tape.
Did they have any markings on them that said police, or did Danny have any idea that these were officers or just crazy?
They clearly did not identify themselves as sheriff's officers. It's actually in the police complaint that was drawn up against Mr. Presti. You can read it yourselves.
You guys gonna release the video?
We will, after the investigation is complete, we'll release our video. We have about 80% of it on tape. We do not have the first 3 minutes or first minute and a half. We're looking for that video now.
Do you have when the deputy was injured?
We don't. We
No
don't.
one knows if the deputy was
We don't.
injured, right?
I can tell you. The claims, we have investigated that part of it, and it was presented to us that he only hurt his ankle. I can assure people he did not break his legs, and I can tell you why. Because Mr. Presti was released with no bail. If he ran over a sheriff's deputy, they would have asked for $500,000 in bail. The DA's office has been nothing but cooperative with us. I hope they will continue to be cooperative going forward. I'm sure they will.
Question. Do you consider the sheriff's deputies to be real cops?
view them as having an agenda?
I'm never going to, I'm not going to disparage any law enforcement, but they certainly do not effectuate criminal arrests here in New York City. And like I said, the NYPD was nowhere to be found. In New York, I think the rest of America has to understand, in New York City, sheriff's deputies are not like the rest of the country. They're basically revenue collectors. And they do civil enforcement. They do not do criminal enforcement. Myself and my partner Mark Fonte have been practicing criminal law for over 40 years between us. We have never dealt with a sheriff's deputy in a criminal case. This is the first time.
Do you think they have an agenda against Max?
I think you can answer that question yourself.
Is Danny going to reopen? Keith going to reopen?
Well, I think out of respect for law and order and the respect for the fellow restaurant owners and small business anywhere, we're going to take a step back for a couple of days, regroup and consider our options. But I certainly will tell you this, Danny and Keith are not giving up the fight on behalf of small business owners and Max Public House to reopen.
Talk to us about what happened before he left. So there's video that came out of Friday night, people inside the pub, not wearing masks, not social distancing. Talk to us about that, because obviously that was one of the reasons why they showed up.
Oh, Friday night this didn't happen Friday night, it happened Saturday night.
Right.
Friday night, there were a bunch of people that wanted to celebrate the fact that Danny was released from prison. They came in, they were served, they were served food, there was drinking going on. However, you do not have to wear a mask in a restaurant. Maybe there was some lack of social distance and exuberance, but that's no reason to come in and send a hit squad of 20 unmarked cars to zoom him away in 3 minutes like he's Osama bin Laden.
This was brought up on Saturday Night Live by Hollander, and they said that the protesters that they came to Staten Islanders look like a bunch of babies.
I'm not gonna answer that. I think Mr. Tobacco should answer that. He's as a community activist.
You know, I'm not part of the legal team. I'm just someone who's concerned about watching our rights and freedoms get taken away from us. That's why I became friends with these guys. That's why I've been supporting them. And I kind of almost feel like, you know, the ignorance level is so high now that you have mega millionaires who are on the national spotlight, like the folks on Saturday Night Live. And instead of making fun of their friends and the local business owners who are broke and crushed and bankrupt, instead of coming down here as fellow Staten Islanders and standing up for them and bringing a positive light to this thing, what they want to do is go on national TV and try to humiliate the little man when he's down. And to me, that's quite disgusting. And as I mentioned before, my dad was a member of the NYPD. The king of Staten Island's dad was a proud fireman and a great friend of mine. And I saw Staten Islanders heavily come out and support him, his mom, his family, and everyone else in a time of need after 9/11 when I cried for his father. So when I hear stuff like this, it hits me emotionally when I think, wow, if you came out of your perch in your affluent neighborhood and came down here and told the liberal left this is a good thing because it's about our freedom and liberty, we probably wouldn't be standing here today talking about a political prisoner who was the victim of, in my view, a political ambush by the king and his henchmen.
And a support plan tonight. We're hearing about a march, right?
We don't know about tonight. Right now, the guys are going to take a couple of minutes, step back, see what the next move is. What we do know is there's support everywhere. And when the emperor really wants to paint you badly, they try to kill your support with your own people. How do you do that? You paint them as a criminal. So you're watching it right before your eyes, folks, and you're going to find out that what you're seeing here in Staten Island, New York, is not America.
I'm going to address tonight, again, out of respect for the heat, out of respect for law enforcement and what's been going on, the organizers of the march have canceled it, and that was out of complete respect for law and order and what's been happening. And I'm going to address Saturday Night Live just a little bit. I just want everybody to know we had 2,000 people here in a peaceful, respectful rally. They actually cleaned up when they left. We had 50 to 100 people cleaning up the street when we left. Maybe Saturday Night Live should be mocking the people that looted and rioted and destroyed our great city of Manhattan and the rest of the great cities in this country. Anybody else?
Yeah, what do you think about other restaurant owners joining Danny's call to people inside and actually serving folks inside at this point?
Well, you know, restaurant owners are frustrated and angry. I certainly support whatever decision they make, but I think each individual restaurant should make that on their own.
I really wanted to hear what Danny said. We couldn't hear it.
Yeah, we couldn't hear it.
That truck was going by when Dan made
So if we'll make Danny make his statement one more time, then I'll answer a couple more questions.
That's it. Wrap it up.
Thanks, Danny.
Thanks for coming, everyone. I have nothing but the utmost respect for the NYPD and law enforcement. I think when the investigation is complete, you're going to find out that I did nothing wrong. Again, we're just giving some time with the investigation, and that's why I'm referring all questions to the lawyer.
Thanks.
So, Lou, you're taking a step back, considering the options for the bar.
Yes.
Does that mean you're closing it for today and to the next?
The bar will be closed for the next couple days. Again, out of respect for law enforcement. We appreciate the support from everybody, but out of respect for law enforcement, law and order, at least for a couple days, and then we'll regroup. But we don't intend to give up the fight at all.
Well, what do you have to say to people that say this is about COVID rates? You know, you're in an orange zone, and this is an effort to control rising cases of the coronavirus. That this is what it's about, and that the bar should comply with the regulations set forth by the state. What is your response to that?
Well, my response to that is very simple. If we can go a block and a half and get a cheeseburger, this place should be open. If you can show me science, my response to that is very simple. If you can go a block and a half and get a cheeseburger, which you can, okay, if anybody can show me science that the COVID virus stops at the railroad tracks, we'd be more than happy to shut down. Until then, we'd like the same consideration given to the other half of Staten Island and being able to serve out cheeseburgers and out beer here. By the way, like Mr. Tobacco just reminded me, there's thousands of people in the mall right now buying candles and Christmas presents for their friends and neighbors and family. And God bless them. They should. It's a great holiday. It's a blessing. All right. All we want to do is serve a cheeseburger and a beer in this restaurant. And 20 unmarked cars took him away for that reason. That's all else I'm going to say. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.